everybody, how you doing today? It's a new day, it's a fresh day. I hope you're up, shaking and baking. You know, I always say that all my guests are fascinating people. Yeah. And this one is a banger. I have with me Mr. Tolu Bawa Allah. Tolu is an entrepreneur, a registered architect, and a real estate enthusiast. In the last 16 years, he has built experience in the real estate space with several years spent in critical management roles for over that cover deal design, construction management, development funding, marketing, and sales. He's a member of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce, and the International Real Estate Federation. Yeah, he also FIA. Fiabaca. How's it called? FIABC. I like it. Okay. He also became a member of the Stanford Seed Transformation Network after completing the transformation program of 2017. Wow. He's a managing director of Prindex Properties Limited, an indigenous real estate investment and development company that delivers sustainable investment returns through superb product knowledge and execution. Outside of his work, outside of his work life, he enjoys traveling and networking with great minds. He's also a southpaw tennis player, a calligraphy artist, loving husband, and a caring father. I love that. I didn't know you like tennis.
No, I'm a tennis player. Don't try me on the court.
For real? Wow. So I really want to have a conversation with you around. There was something we were talking about. I think we had the conversation on Instagram. It's a great way to start this conversation. And I've been telling people that, and people just laugh and they go like, "Oh, this is so true." I said, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and a friend of mine said to me that, Paul, those houses that were built by our parents in the villages, not all of them, but most of them don't ever fall. But how come the ones in the big cities, they fall? What's the problem with the real estate industry in Nigeria? Yeah.
Okay, so I think that at the end of the day, if you look at it critically, the problem boils down to competence. Yeah. Because look, science is science. You can't cheat science.
Yeah.
2 + 2 would always give you 4.
That's right.
So in a situation where 2 + 2 is meant to give you 4 and you're working it to give you 6 or 7, then there's a void somewhere. And it will eventually show. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So if a structure is designed to hold up 7 floors, a structure that is designed to hold up 7 floors has a certain type of foundation. If you go beyond the limits of that foundation design to load up 4 additional floors to make it a total of 11 or maybe 12, when the foundation was designed to carry only 7, then there's an issue somewhere. It will always, because it's about the bearing capacity of the soil. It's about foundation that was designed with that bearing capacity in mind, right? So if the soil cannot bear beyond what it's been initially designed for, then of course there would always be a problem where the whole structure will come down. So it's as simple as that, really. It's as simple as that.
So
sorry to cut you. Those are guys in the village, right? They don't test their limits. Their own factor of safety is always very high. Even though they learned how to build traditionally. Confined within what they are comfortable with. But in the city, in the urban areas, there's so many reasons why you just want to quickly push it. Okay, is this what we have? And let's optimize, let's maximize. And of course, they're carrying along the kind of professionals that should be involved in these conversations. Even if professionals are involved, some builders, some project sponsors will still want to test the limit to see how far they can stretch their dollar or naira. Do you understand? And all consequences. So I think it's as simple as that, really.
Tolu, if you were the Minister of Housing.
Wow, that's a big post.
In Nigeria. The Minister
of Housing has been appointed right now.
No, I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, now, off the back of your experience and what you know.
Yes.
How will you improve in the construction and property space in Nigeria? I think this is a powerful question.
Yes, it is. It is. You see,
where will you attack first?
Yeah, there are different aspects to the problem of how right now housing deficit is going to maybe between 20-25 million in terms of the number of houses we need.
That's a lot.
Yes, to be able to say, oh, we are optimally, we have optimal capacity. And look at it, when you look at it, optimal capacity of 20-25 million houses. What does that tell you? Look at the numbers closely. The population census is saying we're at about 200 million. Maybe between 200 and 220 million. Saying we need 20-25 million houses. That means people in one house.
That means what?
That means how many people under one roof? If we had 20-25 million houses,
yeah,
that means we're going to cram about 10 people in one house.
So that statistic is not accurate. Is that what you're saying?
No, those are the raw figures right now. Those are the raw figures. But I'm saying even if we had that capacity, we don't right now. We don't have right now. The last time there was a check, there was some kind of census, right? The report says, oh, Nigeria, we have a housing deficit of about 17 million. 17 million houses. I'm sure that figure has gone up to about 20-25 million today, right? I think that the biggest challenge is funding. Yeah, I don't think it's much more about the competence. No, we have trained engineers, we have trained architects, we have trained artisans. We can set up a system to expand, that knowledge in terms of training more people to join the pool of professionals that will deliver housing. But I think that most critically, right, the main issue we need to address is funding. Funding from both ends. So funding to the end users, right? Do we have a proper mortgage system in place? If we did have a proper mortgage system in place, how many people can possibly access the mortgage facilities? And even if they qualify, right, at what rates are they going to be paying? Mortgage today is at maybe, double digits, 17, between 18 to 25, 30%. Inflation has gone up, and that would of course impact on all the mortgage and other facilities that are out there, right? So the scarce, the scarce availability of mortgage out there is a big issue. That's number one. As I said, the problem is twofold. Funding to the people that would be able to buy the house if they were built, and then construction finance for developers that would assist them in pushing out the right kind of houses, the right sizes of houses. You understand? For the open market, for the people out there, the working class people who can afford to earn a certain amount of money on a monthly basis that can net off their mortgage structure, over 5, 10, 15 years. So I think that if perchance, I was Minister of Housing tomorrow, right? The first thing we need to do is to have a roundtable, discussion and come up with a plan, right? Yeah, come up with a plan of how the finance institution can partner with.
That's a very good one.
Of housing, because look, funding is the bottom line. Funding is the bottom line. There are some other factors we can consider as well. Number one, why is cost of housing so high?
Very high. Very high.
70, let's take out land value. Let's take it out of the equation, right? 70 to 80% of materials that are being deployed in the construction process is imported.
Wow.
Right? Yes.
Wow.
So even local manufacturers, right, that deliver maybe reinforcement, iron rods, and they will tell you that there are still major constituents of their
what
own
they use, that is being imported.
That is imported. So it's still all sort of dollar based. Now, by the time government enacts policies that can help local manufacturers to start thinking and start developing, production arrangements that can help us produce materials locally, and those locally produced materials has acceptability rating with the market, with the open market, because it's one thing for you to produce materials locally, and then it's another thing for the market to accept it. So, for instance, right, you go into a building that has just been delivered this year, and you see that, this particular kind of tiles that have been used on the floor, they're not looking too nice because they were baked in Nigeria. The tiles were produced in Nigeria. That means that the market, right, has some bias against goods produced in Nigeria, against materials produced in Nigeria. So let me give you one, just as a means of diversion. Electrical cables, ones manufactured in Nigeria, are one of the best in the world.
It's a lie.
I am telling you, Paul.
It's a lie.
Ask any contractor out there.
It's a lie.
Yeah, the cables we use in Nigeria, the cables that are manufactured in Nigeria, are some of the best in the world. So you would hardly find contractors importing cables. Cables that we deploy in our projects are always bought, from
Nigeria.
From companies that operate, manufacture and produce them here in Nigeria. So you see, there's the problem is in layers, but I think the biggest one of it is funding. If we had a situation where the finance, the financial sector was able to come together with the construction, with the built environment, with the professionals of the built environment, to see how we can structure long-term funding, mortgage that will take, 15, 20, 25 years to pay off at considerably affordable rates. Then you will see that the issue of housing will start to get solved, one step after. Because once funding is in place, then every other thing starts to cascade, progressively. Once funding,
Fantastic. So, Tolu, if a young man or a young woman comes to meet you right now and say, you know what, I want to start a real estate business.
Yes.
And regardless of the part of the value chain that they want to play at, and they want you to coach them off the back of your experience. So you're not just a developer now, you're also a coach now.
Okay.
What will you tell them? What metrics will you tell them? What will you say to them?
Ofo is turning me into a coach.
Because it's gonna happen. Someone is listening to you right now, and the person says, I want to start a real estate business, or I want to invest in real estate. I want to invest in real estate. All right, Tolu, I want you to coach me off the back of your experience. I've seen your properties in Prindex. Hey guys, those of you listening to this on the podcast, go to, I'm going to put Prindex social media in the show notes. You can click it and just check out the quality of work that they do. And I'm going to put Tolu's LinkedIn profile there so they can check out the quality of work that he does. So good. So Tolu, what will you say to that person?
Okay, so real estate, right?
Yes. I am your client. I want you to coach me now.
Yeah. So either you're coming in as an investor or
a developer, yeah, or even in sales or whatever. So
sales, So sales, investment,
anywhere in the value chain.
Anywhere in the value chain. I want you to consider it as, a situation where you're looking at a tripod stand.
That's 3 legs. I'm seeing 3 legs.
3 legs. So your goal and ambition.
Mm-hmm.
Because you must have that first conviction in you.
Yes.
You must have a certain goal. You must have an ambition that, okay, I want to do this. What is it that you want to do? It must be clearly defined.
If it's in Nigeria, I want to make money. That's the North Star.
I want to make money.
Sorry. That's the North Star.
So beyond making money, you must have a bit of passion. Yeah, you can't just wake up and say you want to make money and you want to dabble into real estate. Real estate is a very serious business. It's quite a serious business. It's not as easy as selling eggs. If you want to sell eggs, right? You look for a chicken. You
can sell it to your car, Seth.
Yeah, and then these eggs, you get a crate. Arrange all the eggs on the crate and take it to the marketplace and sell. No, real estate is different. So the first thing is that conviction in your mind that you want to play in the real estate space, right? That conviction, that ambition has to stand. It's like it's standing on a tripod with 3 legs.
So we've got the ambition.
Yeah. And it's standing on tripod with 3 legs. The first part of it is finance. The second part of it is the technical aspect. And then the third part of it is the need, the market need. Because how it works is that the financial part, comes together with the technical part to create value for the market. So the market, right, dictates exactly what kind of value they're going to pay money for.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
I think it's as simple as that. We can take it in those 3 different dimensions.
I like that framework. The ambition, which is the goal, the finances, and then the need of the market.
Yeah, no. The ambition.
The ambition is the first.
The idea.
The
idea. It sits on like a tripod where you have 3 legs.
Yeah.
3 legs, the finance aspect of it, the technical aspect, and then the market, the need. Yes. Yeah. So those are the 3 areas that one must, at the first instance, focus on, learn about.
Yeah.
And then as you learn about these areas, then you can now start to pinpoint exactly how you want to play, where you want to play. Do you want to just be an investor, or do you want to be a developer, or do you want to be a sales agent or a realtor?
I like that.
Do you want to go into real estate research?
Advisory.
Advisory. There's not much companies around here that are doing the business of real estate research and are gathering information.
I know
one.
Of
such companies, one of such companies is Estate Intel.
Okay.
And before Dolapo Midire is the lead person there. Before he came about, he came on that, he started that business. I think that you would hardly find a platform where you can get, information across different sectors of the market.
Yeah.
Informing you about the current trends of, what's happening in the real estate space. Yeah. So there's different aspects. What I'm saying that if we're taking it from 2 distinct positions right now to say, I've just woken up this morning, I think I want to get into real estate, and I'm thinking of 2 areas. Either I'm going as a developer or I'm going in as an investor.
Yeah.
These are the critical points we need to consider. Finance.
Right?
Yeah. Technical. And then the market need.
The market. This is very good. So that means that partnerships can actually be formed around those 3 verticals.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're very correct.
Yeah. Let me segue to the next question. So, TV. So, guys, those of you listening, I call him TV. He's my guy. So, TV, if you had to start your real estate journey all over again, knowing what you now know, what will you do differently? You may not want to go into the depth of it, but what will you, because someone is listening to you right now, the person is getting a lot of insights answering that question. What will you do differently? That's a serious question, right?
Well, it is, yes. And I'm happy that you've asked it because, it sets somebody's thoughts in a different direction.
Yeah.
Okay, so real estate development has, I can very clearly say it's teamwork, it's team effort.
I like that.
It's team effort. It's not, real estate is not a one-man business, and I'll tell you why. So I'm a developer, right? I'm a real estate. I run a real estate development company, and based on my close to 20 years experience now, I can very clearly define a real estate development or a real estate developer or a real estate development company is that person or a body of individuals, right, that can identify an opportunity to add value to a piece of real estate by deploying and managing, the right set of expertise and resources to profitably deliver a result that fulfills the market need. He has to fulfill market need without breaking any statutory regulations or compromising the sustainability of the built environment, because the environment is also important.
Yeah.
That's what real estate development is about. Now, if you go by that definition, I said something very critical. I said it is a body of individuals. You get it? Going from that single, that single analogy that is a body of individuals, if I were to start my career, if I was to jumpstart my career all over again, yes, I would make sure very strongly that we have strong partnerships with people in the finance space, with people in the government sector, and with, real estate market researchers. Yeah. So you see, a lot of us go into this real estate game and we take these things for granted. So somebody retires from the bank and just calls a young architect, maybe 2 years out of school, and you're paying him peanuts to say, okay, please just quickly give me this design. Let me quickly, start developing.
Start developing, chop.
Yeah, you know how we quickly move.
Yeah.
Let me quickly get this done. And then when it's time for you to, because you are coming from the finance space, so you have money. And then when it's time for you to go into other details like the engineers that will build and then the geotechnical team that will do your soil test, you say, look, I can't do soil test, I beg. Let me just know how much it will cost to get a soil test report. We take these things for granted. Yes, we do. We do not pay the necessary kind of attention. And then again,
sorry to look. Let me ask you, like a child, for the benefit of my listeners. Why is soil test important? Because years ago, I heard someone say that an architect or somebody held the soils of some parts of Lekki and say people are building houses here. They are just building on problem. What? That's funny. Okay. Let me add something after that. My sister said something to me on the phone. She said, because I'm the last child of my home, so we're planning my mom's funeral. And she said something. She said, my loving brother, I said, when the root is deep, the tree does not fall. I shouted because I like words. I said I would tend to lose this thing.
I like that. But look, as I said,
go ahead.
Science is about 2 + 2 giving you 4.
Yes. So tell me about that soil test.
There are no mistakes, right? If you come to areas like Lagos, where some areas of our land mass have very low bearing capacity, the land is soft, then soil test becomes a very strong consideration. But you understand, it becomes a very strong consideration. But if you go to somewhere like Abuja, where most of the landscape is rocky and hilly.
Mm-hmm.
You can take soil tests for granted.
But how come people don't take soil tests seriously in that our Lagos?
Paul, don't mix it up. Science is science. 2 + 2 would always give you 4.
Mm-hmm.
Every built environment professional that you come across would make you understand that if you're going to put a load
on top of
the floor, you should test
yes,
what
sir.
the bearing capacity is.
Can be, yes, I like that. This is very powerful.
Your building can be made of foam. Styrofoam. Yeah, your building can be built from styrofoam. There's new concrete technology that allows us to embed styrofoam inside our concrete slabs to lighten the weight. So your building can be made of foam. And because you think it's light, you don't need to do soil test. But no, as I said, simple as 2 + 2 giving you 4.
So some soil cannot carry some building.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
But of course. If you build a bungalow, just a single story on a particular plot of land, you might be able to bear it. But if you now say, oh, I want tent of the tent. You know how some people say, you know what I'm saying, yeah? So, some people will tell you, oh, I want my roof to be very high.
When they know.
When they see them. When they agree, say, house day. You get what I'm saying? So
now we know here.
All those elements add up, right? So the size of your roof, the volume of your roof, the volume of wooden members in the roof, all that adds to the to the gross weight of the building in total. And then of course all this directly impacts on your foundation, carrying all the load into the floor.
Yeah.
So soil test is critical for you to be able to determine what is going on under there. And it is usually produced or is usually carried out, and a test result is produced by a geotechnical engineer.
I see.
They are the ones that are trained with that skill of drilling down there and analyzing the different layers of whatever they find down there. To be able to say, oh, we have tested these layers. What the test is showing is that it can carry 80 kilonewtons or 200 kilonewtons.
Come on, brother.
Kilonewtons.
Come on, brother.
When they say that, oh, it can carry 80 kilonewtons, and then your load is
90.
No, your load is 140 kilonewtons, and then your house begins to tilt, say hello this way. Hello.
Wow, this is a deep conversation.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah. So those are the challenges. But as I said, you can sometimes take soil tests for granted. Some people take soil tests for granted. People that are building in Abuja, where their properties,
the ground is solid,
very solid. So they just believe that they do not need a soil test, but it's still better. Do it, document it that you've done it, and this is the results is showing you. And then, of course, with that result, you can now go ahead to inform your engineer before they do whatever they need to do in terms of design, right? So in simple terms, a soil test is needed in every situation, most especially when you're building multiple floors.
I see. This is. I've never heard about this before. I'm grateful that we are having this. I've been in this space, but I've never heard a developer talk about this in any of our conversations. And I think regulation can play a strong role if regulation insists that soil tests must be done.
You're correct. Regulation insists. So, for instance,
so that's why when you talked about government, it was very important. That's why I asked that question. If you were a minister,
if you go to the physical planning permit authority in Lagos State, right, they insist on you submitting a soil test report along with other documentation required for your building plan approval process. So it's actually part of the regulation right now for Lagos State. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, what are some of the joys? You're a businessman in Nigeria. I want you to talk about the joys as we you know, as we go towards the finish line of this conversation, the joys and the challenges of running a business in Nigeria. You have seen the highs, you've seen the low, you are still seeing it. You're still running your business, right? Somebody comes to you and say, Oga Tolu, money day real estate, man. I gotta start this thing, man. I did see the boys for Instagram, man. Come on, man.
Instagram. I hear you. Okay, the joys and the challenges.
The joys and the challenges from your experience,
The joys and the challenges.
Yes.
I'll take the joys first.
Yeah, let's start with the joys. Let's take the good news first.
Good news first, yes.
Yes.
Okay, so for the joys, right? I think that as a professional, it feels very fulfilling when we deliver real estate projects and people can earn from.
Sorry, let me interrupt you. Tell me the day any of your, I know you have several experiences where your customer bought a property from you. Describe that joy when you just looked at the price, you're like, wow, you saw the feeling. Tell me that experience. You don't need to go into the names, but just describe that feeling. Let's humanize this experience, the joy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of the joys. So I recall when one of our subscribers came to one of our developments. He had been introduced to that project by a realtor.
Okay.
The realtor had done due diligence on the property, had come to look at it, had sent videos of the place. But on the day of the launch, he came around and he was excited about the quality he saw. The quality was different from what he has been experiencing.
Yes.
And he liked the spaces, and he was just excited. This very neatly done. The windows were big. The layout of the spaces. I mean, he saw that extra effort to make sure that everything worked out, as decently, as functionally as possible.
Yeah.
And of course, the building just looked, very contemporary. So I was impressed. And at that particular point, said, "Oh, please, where's your next project starting?" And I said,
lovely.
We're starting one just about, several streets away. If you want us to take you to the site right now, we can
check it out.
Let's go. And he went to that next place, and there and then he instructed his assistant to see us the next week, and he made a down payment for 2 more units.
Wow.
So that feels very fulfilling. The second level of fulfillment that we always have is when we talk to our potential subscribers and we tell them that, oh, look, because of the kind of attention to detail we pay and the quality of the build, if they buy our investment apartments, they would typically get about, say, 25 to 30% rental returns that is higher than the market average. We always tell them that, and they're like, "Oh, really? Well, let me see. I'm not certain that they're going to this target, but let me see." And then when we're completed, and then we're now managing the property for them, and we start to pay the rental returns, they're like, "Oh, wow, this is good work." So it feels very fulfilling. As a professional, sometimes when you look back at all these efforts, because it's not really easy, real estate development, it takes a lot of steps and there's risks along the way. So first you have the finance risk, then you have the market risk, then you have government statutory risk, you have construction risk. I mean, there are layers, and then you finish the project by scaling all that, and then you come out at the other end, everything looking very decent, and you've delivered. It's very fulfilling as a professional. I like the fact that with our work, other professionals come to us, other people that are not real estate professionals come to us. They ask us about how we've done it, and we're able to share, that knowledge. The same way I'm talking to you now, and you're asking questions about the soil test, and I'm giving you details. That process of enlightening the open market about it, I find that very fulfilling.
Very, 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 very. I mean, you have opened my eyes to a lot of things that I never thought about. First of all, I know that a lot of real estate people follow me. They listen to my stuff. I'm going to drop it in a lot of real estate communities first. They need to listen to what you are. And it even helps the real estate salespeople to have intelligent conversations with their clients.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they understand the technicalities behind it.
Yes, exactly. To say, we've done soil tests for this property, man. It's gonna
soil test is just good.
Oh my God. There's a lot of metaphors that you just give me and are very, very deep. And I'm just enjoying this chat with you in the minutes that we have left. I said, when you said that if you do a soil test that says that, I don't know the language you use, like Kinikon can take only 80 what? 80 kilo newtons. Then someone wants to build a house of 150 newtons. So look now, based on your experience in life, can you juxtapose that analogy or that metaphor to other aspects of life?
Cut your coat according to your size.
Hey, Jesus, this man is wise.
No. Cut your coat according to your material.
According to your material. Okay, now talk to the young man who is coming to you for coaching, and he's seen all the razzmatazz that other people are doing. Their brain and their resources currently is only 18 newtons off the back of the discovery you've given to them, but yet they want to start at 150 or 200 newtons. Talk to us about that. This class is deep, man. I like this.
Okay, so you see, this is the big problem, right? A lot of us that go into real estate take a lot of things for granted.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do, in detail. A lot of people don't follow the process.
Yeah.
Some people do that out of ignorance. Some people do that to cut corners. Some people follow the process through
to the end. Yeah.
And you see it in the quality of what they deliver to you.
Yes. And that's Prindex for you, man. I'm just putting a plug, but that's the truth. That's Prindex for you.
Exactly.
That's the latter.
Yeah. But unfortunately, right, the market needs to get more enlightened. The market needs to understand real estate development. In terms of regulation, the regulations need to be a bit more practical in trying to assess what buildings should be out there for people to habitate. So it might also surprise you that for Lagos State, right, when a building is completed, the contractor or project sponsor is meant to get a certificate. It's called Certificate of Habitation.
From the government?
From confirming that all the processes have been
I've never heard about that before. Never.
Yes, all the processes have been adhered to.
Never heard about that before.
The construction process was successful, and based on the success of the construction process, they are issuing a certificate of habitation.
Wow.
So let's circle back a bit. In the media very recently, there was this story about some houses along the canal line.
Yes.
That
were destroyed. Yeah.
They were being demolished.
Demolished, yes.
Right?
Yes.
It is highly impossible that those set of buildings on that particular row of the canal line had certificate of habitation issued by the same government. I think we can investigate it, but I doubt very much that the government will have issued certificates.
And they come and destroy it again.
And they're going to come and destroy it again.
I see what you mean.
So I think that there's quite a knowledge gap. There's quite a knowledge gap in the market space, because a lot of people don't know what to look out for when they see, realtors come to them, realtors give them this and that. Oh, there's this house here, come and buy, blah, blah, blah. And let's try to compare it to the food and beverage industry or the drug manufacturing industry.
Are you looking at a regulated industry? If you want to talk about the regulated industry, I'll call banking. You want to compare that to a very regulated industry. So you want to call banking the most regulated in Nigeria.
I'm not even talking of banking and finance. I'm saying let's look at food. Let's look at food and drugs, right?
Okay.
So you're walking on the street right now. You're kind of hungry. You stop by a shop and you want to buy 1 or 2 biscuits just to have as a snack before you get home and have your proper food. When you pick the biscuit from the shelf on the shop and you pay, you take it for granted that it's NAFDAC approved. So you just open it. Yeah, you just open it and you start eating. I think that for us in the real estate space, we still have a lot of work to do. We're trying to make sure that the quality of what people are getting out there is good enough for us to enjoy it without any hitch. A lot of people complain about plumbing leakages, roof leakages, flood. This water is coming from the street into my compound. Water is coming from my compound into my house. There's layers and layers of issues. But I tell you that even within all these issues, we still have competent professionals that try to do things right, that take passion in doing things right.
And that's one of you, man. You're spreading that, man.
Yes.
Yeah, you're in that school of
yes.
School of thoughts.
Very best to make sure that we keep on progressing in that light. Where quality is what we do. Trying to do things right is the culture. Here with us at Prindex and Blue Line.
Tolu, you just made me feel smarter just talking to you right now.
Yeah, you need to feel smart.
I feel smarter right now because I'm going to call anybody who's really listening. I know. I say, do you know what the soil test is? Do you know what the certificate of habitation is?
Yeah.
Brother, thank you for this conversation, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I believe that you have so much to share. Please, everybody, first of all, I'm going to put so look, can you tell us your Instagram and where do you want people to come and follow you and to get more from your wisdom? What's the handle?
Official_Tibawi.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the show notes in the podcast. I'm going to put it in my newsletter to over 13,000 people because I believe that this man's voice should be heard. This video is going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Instagram. It's going to be everywhere. I believe that he has a great message that everybody. It's going to be on Spotify. It's going to be on Apple. This episode of the Powerful Podcast will drop this week. And then I find my November is jammed with guests. It's jammed with guests. So I'm gonna do a flyer right now for my episode with you. I say it will be recently on the Powerful Podcast, and then you get all of that tomorrow. So you can actually drop it on your own Instagram as well to get people know that the episode will drop by God's grace on Friday. And as I prepare for, but I'll be dropping a lot of teasers, all those 30 seconds, 60 seconds teasers to make people prepared. I'll drop that part where he said that we have the best cables. Let me hear.
Hello. For a bit.
Yes, I said the episode will drop on Friday.
Hello.